What's going on? The APEcoach from Six-Pack Gaming, where we bring you the best play to earn NFT games and new Metaverse projects. Today, we are going over a new update for Pegaxy. So be sure to smash that thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe and got notifications turned on, and let's dive right into this. So there has just been a new update to Pegaxy the other day that has implemented a new racing mode called Drop Racing. So this is a pretty cool feature, and I know we haven't talked about Pegaxy in a little while on the channel, and to be honest, it's just because, you know, there wasn't big enough updates coming that, you know, I felt warranted an entire video. But today we do have a pretty substantial update to the overall gameplay of the game, a fairly big new development, and we're going to get into, you know, what I think about this and how this might affect things like token prices and all of that sort of thing, and, you know, whether I am bullish on this or not. So we are going to dive into it. Remember to smash that thumbs up button, make sure you're subbed, and let's get into it here. So this is what was added: Drop Racing and Consumables, and this was July 25th here. Now, this is a very cool concept because this is starting to introduce more of a gamified experience to Pegaxy, something that it has been desperately missing ever since its launch way back in November, I believe it was. And I feel like this is something that should have been implemented months and months ago. You know, when there was still the attention on the game and there, you know, the price of the token hadn't dropped too much. I feel like this update would have made a much more significant impact had this been, you know, implemented earlier. But you know, as we know, obviously we can't go back in time and change anything like that. So let's just jump into it. We'll go through exactly what it is, and I'll let you know sort of my thoughts of where things are at, if this is, you know, bullish, where I think things are going to head with Pegaxy and all of that good stuff. So Drop Racing and Consumables. So the overall concept of this is essentially you can select to use your Peg as energy instead of racing for VIS, the traditional races where you're just collecting VIS tokens and, you know, dumping them back on the market for fractions of a cent. Now you have the option to do a drop race, which lets you race for a key fragment. Okay, and this is how this works. So first you get 3 key fragments, second you get 2, and third you get 1. You need 30 key fragments to create 1 key, okay? And then with that key, you can open basically a random loot chest, okay? And it says there's a 20% chance of obtaining a chest if you come first. So you do actually have the possibility of winning a chest from winning these drop races as well. And then it says there are 11 chest types. So there's fire stat chest, water stat chest. So all the different stats, there's a chest to help you boost your stats of your Pegas. There is also a chest for reducing race cooldowns, which is pretty cool. That means you'll be able to race much sooner and race more frequently. And then there is also a fire Chroma chest. So this is going to be like a cosmetic effect. So there's fire, water, wind, and lightning. The type of chest you obtain will be defined by the type of arena you are racing in. So a fire lobby will give you a fire chest, water lobby, water chest, wind, etc. All lobbies have a chance of obtaining these chests, which are reducing race cooldowns, strength, and speed. And then the drop rates for the types of chests are as follows. So the skin Chroma, so the cosmetic effect, is 30%, the race cooldown 14%, and all of the stat chests essentially are, you know, 14% respectively, and then 28% for the element effects, basically. So when you open a chest, you have a chance to get an item at 5 different rarities. So there's normal, rare, epic, legendary, and mythic, which is only a 3% drop rate. Key crafting, again, we said it you know, takes 30 key fragments, so you're gonna have to, you know, get at least 10 first places in the drop racing, or, you know, 30 third places in order to be able to get enough fragments to get the key. And then in addition to that, you have to use 1000 VIS to fuse the key, which, you know, at the current prices, that's still, I don't know, not even a penny. It's pretty cheap. But so 1000 VIS plus the 30 key fragments to make the key, and then there is only one available type of key, and it can open all types of chests. So you don't have to worry about, getting different types of keys for different chests. There is an and here is a little bit more of the breakdown on the consumable items. So the stat-based consumables are consumables that Pegas can utilize in order to alter their stats. This type of consumable can either increase or decrease your stats, so that's actually really cool. That can be really beneficial if you happen to establish some sort of like meta stat build for the Pegas. You'll essentially be able to use these stat-based consumables, or perhaps buy them off the marketplace to alter your Pega's stats and better suit them to the stadiums, and ideally increase their win rates in order to further down the road increase your ability of winning races and winning more vis and tokens and all that sort of stuff, right? And then there's cooldown based consumables, and this can be used in order to lessen the cooldowns on racing for a Pega. That's understandable. And then the color change allows the change of a color for a Pega, providing customizability for those who wish to change the appearance of their assets. So these are all really cool, right? Like the idea of stat-based consumables that you can increase, decrease your stats of your Pega. You can kind of create strategy around the gameplay. There's a little bit more like skill involved in that sense. As well as like the cooldowns and the color changing, like the cosmetics and stuff. All of these are great, and they would have been fantastic months ago, right? I feel like it's a little too far gone at this point for this to make like a major impact, because a lot of the attention is kind of faded away from Pegaxy. That's kind of how it works in the Web3 gaming space right now, because there aren't really well established games. Most people are speculative investors, and as soon as something starts to die off, they're already on to the next thing that grabs their attention, looking for that quick buck, essentially, right? So it's unfortunate, because I feel like these changes could have made a huge impact on the economy, on the actual game itself, if they were introduced much sooner. But with where things are at right now, we're still at 60% vis being burned compared to the mint. So we're still minting way more than what is being burned. There's an excess of just about 1 billion vis tokens right now. So there's still a ton of downward selling pressure on vis. And, it's extremely, like, at this point, it is impossible for vis to return to its all-time high. They would have to burn 90% of the token supply or something like that to get it like even close, right? Like we were at 25 cents or something like that. Now we are at 5/10,000ths of a cent or whatever that would have to be. So we are very far off of previous all-time highs, but that's not to say we might not be able to knock a decimal point off of this or something like that. But yeah, I feel like this is a great update, and this is definitely heading in the right direction. These are the kinds of changes and implementations that have to be added to the game in order to make it feel more of like a game, and have more actual gameplay involved in it. But I feel like this still is not going to be enough to really do much of anything in terms of boosting the economy. It's still an RNG at the end of the day, auto racer, horse track. So I think until they start to get to the point where they're developing that Mario Kart style game that's full player control that they talked about from day one, I think until we start to see some of that being implemented, there's really not going to be much pumping in PGX, in BIS. Let's just pull them up real quick here and see where we are sitting. I think we had an initial tiny little spike up here when they announced this. Yeah, so this was on the 25th. So you can see, yeah, the next day we bounced up to 1.6 cents, and now we are back down to 1.4 again. And just to put that into perspective, this token at the IDO price, like the pre-sale price, was 2 cents. So right now, if you're still very bullish on long term of Pegaxy. You have the chance of getting, you know, PGX at almost half the price of you know, the earliest investors in the game, because I was in the IDO and I purchased my tokens for 2 cents, and so I'm still holding, I think, I don't know, 10,000 or so. Yeah, it's crazy to see how far things have come from where they started and where they were. You know, it was over $1 at one point for PGX, $1.05 there back in February, and you know, now we're just over a cent. So I think, you know, this is definitely heading in the right direction, but I think, you know, they really have to do more in terms of developing, you know, actual gameplay, especially with a lot of the other games that are coming to the Web3 space now. You know, the big times, the EVIO, the Undead Blocks, you know, all of these games that have, you know, real gameplay already built into them, right? Those are definitely going to capture, you know, the attention and the overall market share of people in the Web3 space, especially the traditional gamers, right? Like, traditional gamers are not going to be coming over into blockchain and Web3 to watch, you know, an auto racer, slot machine, you know, horse racing game, right? But if we can, you know, if they can get to a point where you're able to actually fully manually control these horses, and it is more of like a Mario Kart style game, and, you know, perhaps you have attacks and defenses like they talked about in their initial white paper, that could be a very, very cool game. And that's something that, you know, I think people would be super pumped about. But until we start to see some of that actual development and, you know, perhaps like demo gameplay and stuff like that, I just don't see these little updates really doing much of, you know, affecting the token price, which is unfortunate, right? Like, these Pegas used to go for, you know, $1,500, and the founding Pegas used to go for well over, you know, 3,000. Some of them were selling for, you know, 30,000 and up, and now you can see a founding Pega you can get for $100. A legendary you can get for $8. So crazy to see how far things have kind of gone. But, you know, with this new change, it does look like we're seeing, you know, the mint is still staying fairly consistent, but it does look like we're seeing a little bit higher burning. So, you know, who knows, maybe if they keep, you know, implementing these types of changes and, you know, improving the overall gameplay of Pegaxy, perhaps then we will start to see, you know, some improvements in the overall economy and the token price and all that good stuff. So let's stop talking about it. I'm going to show you how we do the drop races. I'm going to show you what it's all about and just run you through one here real time, and we can both take a look at it together. I actually have not done a drop race yet, so this will be a first for the both of us. All right, so here we are in my assets here. As you can see, you know, we still have tons of Pegas. We you know, at Six Pack Gaming, we never sold any of our Pegas, but we did fuse them and try to upgrade all of our Pegas to, you know, epics and legendaries and stuff for all of our scholars that stuck around. And you know, big shout out to all of you guys, all of you members continuing to race and support Six Pack Gaming. Love you guys. Now let's jump into this. So we go to racing, and right here we have drop racing, and you can see every 24 hours the stadiums for the Vis racing reset, as well as the drop racing stadiums, right? Because they still have their elements. So this one is a wind stadium, and you can see I have Man of War here. He does not have high wind, so he is probably not going to win any of these. So let me just let me just see if I have any guys with like high wind. Like that one's a 7. Let me just double check what was the stat on this. It was an 8.83. So the way this works, as far as I know, you know, you want to try to match the stat with the stadium as close as possible. So I'm going to see if I can pull a high wind Pega with perhaps an 8, maybe Tupac here. Give Eminem a shot. We've got an 8 wind with an 8 wind stadium. Here we have Eminem. We've got the stadium here. We've got the win stats kind of matching up with that. So we are going to give this a shot. So I believe first I've got to send it like to racing still, just like normal. And then we will jump into the race and hopefully be able to win one of these key fragments. loading the race. I'm excited. I hope we win one of these keys. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And you can see we've got 15 horses in the race here. Let's see, what's a Buggy got? He's only got 5 wind. I think I've got this. Oh, he's another 8 with 9 water. Okay, okay. I've got 8 and 8 with 8 speed, though. What does he have for speed? Only 7. All right, we're going to smoke him. We're going to smoke him. 1. All right, we got this one in the bag. All right, we are going to let this populate, and then I will start this again once the race actually starts. All right, we are off to the races. We are in 3rd right now. Sorry, I forgot to start the recording as the race started. We are in 2nd right now. Let's go. Let's get some key fragments. We are almost there. We're pulling up in 1st, 2nd. Oh, man, this is neck and neck. We have 500 meters remaining. We are still in 2nd. We came in 1st. Let's go. 1st race, and we win the whole thing. That is going to be 3 key fragments in the back pocket here. There we go. 3 key fragments, and you can see 2nd got 2 and 3rd got 1. That is amazing. Can't believe we won 3 on our very first. And you know, there you go. It looks like matching up the stats with the stats of the stadium worked out perfectly for us there. So the way that works, you know, you get your key fragments. Once you have 30, you are going to have to come into my assets, go to items. You will see your key fragments. Oh, and it actually looks like you collect key fragments from scholars as well. So that is very cool to see. So it looks like we are at 24. We have almost enough. We almost have the 30 to be able to craft an actual key. That was the drop racing. As you saw, pretty dope that we were able to get a 1st place on the first one. But that is essentially what it is right now. So you get that, you collect, you know, 30 key fragments. Once you have 30, you can fuse a key, and then you'll be able to open some chests, be it stat chest, which I haven't gotten yet. You also get the chest from the drop races as well. There's a 20% drop rate. So you got the stat chest, the race cooldown, and the skin Chroma chests. So pretty cool. The consumable items as well. So this is where you'll see, you know, all of your different items and things of that nature. And then of course there was the profile pictures as well that we talked about. So, you know, here are the profile pictures that I was able to get. So these 2 are actually ordinary, even though I think this one looks better than the other 2. This one's an ordinary. This one is actually a special. So, you know, special for the theme of this guy. But yeah, so we have the profile picture collection as well, which the floor price is about 0.01 ETH at the moment, which is, you know, 16 bucks. So kind of funny actually to think that the profile pictures are worth more than legendary Pegas, because the profile pictures really don't, you know, you can't earn with them. So yeah, it's kind of funny to me that the floor price of the profile pictures is higher than the floor price of the actual Pegas that can earn you money. So yeah, but it is what it is. Those are my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts though. Leave comments down below. What do you think? Are you, you know, super excited about this? Are you kind of, you know, so-so? Do you think, you know, this isn't a good update? Let me know. Leave a comment down below, and we are going to keep coming at you with more updates on more games and all that good stuff coming very soon. So be sure to smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe and got notifications turned on. And until next time, as always, train hard, game hard, keep making those life-changing gains, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.